Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to my latest video. For those who are new, I like to make these little videos about films that I like and enjoy and want to share. Typically either being ones from the 80s or 90s that either I grew up with or I haven't been really hearing much about and want to revisit them to see if they're still worth checking out, or a lot of horror. You know, I've been having a lot of fun getting into a lot of older horror as well as the occasional new title as well. But before we dive in, if you do enjoy this video and you know, it'd be great if you just give me a little thumbs up there. Maybe even hit that little subscribe button and hit that bell to get notifications for when I put up new content, which is once or twice a week, though occasionally I'll work in a fourth. That way you can hop in during the first hour that video comes out, because that, as well as sticking around to the end, sharing the channel and the video around, and so on, all those things really do help out quite a bit. Okay, now that all that usual YouTube stuff is out of the way, I wanted to get a bit festive and work in some Christmas-related films, or at least ones which kind of take place, you know, around Christmas. And if possible, have some of those entries be about horror specifically. That's why, you know, I already did the one earlier for Black Christmas. I also did one for Thanksgiving, and now we're going to move on to Krampus from 2015. Yes, specifically the 2015 film starring Toni Colette, Adam Scott, and several others that you may recognize, because there are many Krampus-related films these days. But this is the one that I feel stands out, and I rewatch it almost yearly. But as for what this Krampus film is specifically about, here's a synopsis here. A boy who has a bad Christmas accidentally summons a festive demon to his family home. Well, although over the past 10 plus years, this festive demon Krampus has kind of gained some popularity. For those who don't really know what it is or have just heard the name Krampus, a very quick little introduction would just be, think of him as like the anti-Santa, where instead of visiting and bringing gifts to good little boys and girls, Krampus visits them to punish them, to kidnap them, take those ones that have misbehaved. It's got that little bit of horror put in there. So that's about all somebody really needs to know about Krampus in order to enjoy this Krampus film, which opens up with this slow motion scene where it's like a Black Friday type event. Customers are just going crazy. They're going overboard for the latest Christmas sales, you know, running, trampling others, outright just fights happening and being all around horrible. And that's what kind of sets the tone, that little bit of stress there. So this little boy, this kid, sees the holidays kind of slipping away. You know, they're not as special as they were when he was much younger with his family. So he just kind of gets fed up with stuff happening with his family, with the bickering, with the holidays kind of being pulled away from him. And he just tosses out his letter to Santa. Yeah, he actually does write letters to Santa still, just for the fun of it, and was even being teased about it from some of his cousins. So he tosses it out, and then that kind of brings about this slow but heavy snowstorm that begins to lock the family in, with the extended family who's visiting, and tempers are already flaring. So, along with that, of course, the power's out, it's getting colder, there's no sign as to what even happened, but as those tempers are flaring and flaring, the situation kind of descends, and then Krampus arrives into it. Now, slowly, people are being taken out, and not just from Krampus, but from his little minions. These little goblin things and little, like, almost like possessed toys in a way, start attacking people. So you get everybody kind of getting picked off here and there. And throughout this whole ordeal, we get some great exposition from a character, which is the boy's grandmother, as she's kind of taking the time during this, you know, slight little lull in energy in the film to kind of give you this break to tell you about Krampus and about what she knows about Krampus growing up as a little girl in Germany. So when that breaks that up a little bit, you know, within what some might see this film as being, you know, a slow burn, it really works well. And I totally get that, because not that that's an issue that this is kind of a slow burn movie. I do enjoy those. As you've seen, I've made many videos where I mention that feeling of the slow burn. Because this wasn't unintentional where they just didn't get the project together. This was an intentional feeling that they're bringing across to make that slow burn coincide with the fact that people are stuck in this house. It's cold, it's dark, the night's just dragging on forever, and there's no end in sight. So when you get that film going down that slow burn feel for a late night film, and that's what that storyline is, it works excellently. But also, actually, at one point had included this film in a holiday movie night I had several years ago. I want to say probably 5 years ago. And it turned out to actually be a massive mistake because of that slowness, but not just that slowness, because it does have, spots that are slow, but because this is much more of a mystery horror than anything that I would normally show at a movie night. There's a little bit of comedy sprinkled in there, but usually when I have a holiday movie night, I work in something with more comedy, such as Bad Santa, A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas, even Office Christmas Party. And, I actually put together a video last year about some of those, so I will link to those at the ending screen and in the description. But anyways, back to Krampus. So yeah, we've got jump scares, we've got some creepy stuff going on, a mysterious situation that you don't know how they're going to get out of it for Christmas, which of course is a bit of a downer. This is seriously not a happy Christmas film as far as like the horror. They don't put a whole lot of comedy on top of it to make it like a funny experience. It is a creepy thing, but it's a really good, creepy, festive horror film that I really feel is worth checking out. And as for where to check it out, it's on various services out there, various prices if you want to pay to rent them, but most notably at the time of this video, it's available on Peacock. So if you have access to Peacock, or even if you just need to get a free trial for the holidays and check out not just Krampus, but some other stuff, hop on over and check it out. And speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this latest video here, and especially sticking around to the end, as like I said, all of those things, along with all the other YouTube stuff, it really does help out the channel quite a bit. I do have some more videos planned. I'm going to keep them coming. So thanks for sticking around, and I will see you in the next one.